much blood.
Prepare for battle.
The next label play. Next label play.
You lose face and life.
All good. The rejection a little bit tough, but trying to bounce back, you know, get into my own as a co-caster here. A co.
Wow.
30 seconds to battle.
Did you just? Yeah, okay. So I thought you said the upcoming team. Up and coming, Nigma, classic up. That is true. The players, they might have been too.
The battle begins.
I came a long way to see you die.
Yeah, I feel like Vampire's been. I think a lot of these players kind of around Tani as well. A lot of these players, they've been around. It's just. Yeah, I mean, they're. I feel like they're trying to make a starting.
We say.
At this air drafts, you know, like personally, I'm quite the fan of this this man here with the thick. The matchup seems to be quite favorable against what I've seen so far. They do have some kind of decent ways of dealing. Not bad against this.
Escape.
Team fighting is not exceptional from Gambit, but it's okay. You have the chrono, you've got a blood red. They're sort of lacking a bit in fight, I would say. Seeing as there's a team on the other side. But their lanes are they're quite strong. They have the Bloodseeker against Riki. Good matchup, good throughout the game. They also have this clockwork. He can hunt down some of these. Oh, the early timings are.
Yeah, that's a fair point to have here, right? Gambit, they've kind of gone for lane and snowball, and I think the interesting thing is kind of which team do you think has the edge if this does go quite late, right? Because on the one side you have got this DP, you've got this big team fight with the egg, you've got Slardar, right? But you have got a Riki compared to a Faceless Void on the side of Gambit.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough to call since like the Riki is gonna be sort of this X factor. It kind of depends on what sort of start he gets off to. They have a decent egg killer, right? With Ina, the problem is that he has to show then to hitting this egg, which kind of makes it easy on the target.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about when they switched it up and decided to get the clockwork as the final pick, right? It's like, it makes sense from a laning perspective, but if Riki gets a good start, this game could be quite hard for Lorinov, right?
I think Lina tends to suffer against a lot of high physical damage, and anytime you have a Slardar in the game or on your team, kind of do have already a lot of physical damage. So it's a little bit scary for him to play, but he has the backup of the Oracle.
A little bit of brawling back and forth here. Miracle trying to actually secure this kill on the Vampire with the second jump in. The Cog's too late to save him. Miracle will get the first blood.
Yeah, I think the Cogs actually kind of hurt him there.
Yeah, he's going to want on the lane anyway, right? So it's not like it's a miss level because you have got the Blood Right Cogs combo. The catch, of course, is you can't really use it on the Riki.
No. The Cogs are, of course, good on the lane. I think it sort of boxed himself in there. Not the best. Who does have a lot of armor and regen.
Yeah, it's not really a hero you want to be giving extra gold to, because I think kind of the recurring theme we see with Riki is it's not really a hero you can shut out easily, right? With all the armor and regen that he has.
Yeah, and yeah, might get a solo kill here. Also, very nice rotation there from Kuro. He goes mid to help secure the rune, dodges the stun, he picks up the regen. Although it doesn't grant him all that much regen, he does get harassed a bit by the Lina, and he might even go down here. The rotation still makes it so that no bottle for Lornov. But there's no refill right now for Lornov. Helps Weeha a bit. Matchup, I think it should be a bit Lina favored, but right now Weeha is doing quite well. So with that extra.
But then Iron is immediately like, not so fast. Okay, you may have killed me, but that means I'm a good little bottle crow, as Lornov will at least get a refill here. And it's about to be the 5-minute rune, so he should be pretty good for mana. But obviously, you know, his game's maybe a little bit simpler to play if he gets a good start, right? Like Alina, you are always going to be this fragile glass cannon against that Slardar you mentioned against the Riki. Going in. The Cogs though, oh, they're doing some work. They actually just saved Melis' life.
Yeah, and the thing about Bloodseeker, Bob and spec. Look at this bottom lane, you see mind control already.
I mean, I expected a lead. I didn't expect him to maybe have that many denies over the faceless void, but I guess the Phoenix just makes it that much harder for you to ever trade.
Yeah, the Oracle was also there, not necessarily forced to rotate mid, but he did rotate mid, which buys the Slaughter a bit of extra strength in the lane. And yeah, it's not that easy to order. You can prime your bash towards the...
Yeah, and you don't really see Oracles usually go for an early point Fate's Edict, right? So it's not like you can stop mind control from fighting back if you ever try and pressure him.
I owe you one.
We with the Impish rune. He's going to rotate. He has got the Exo, so likely they'll just try and force a kill into maybe just take the tower here.
So much blood.
They don't seem to be aware of this on the side of Gambit. There it is, Exo out. Ein, he's just going to melt.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, I think depending on how much damage they can actually do tower, it could be worth it or not. I like the fact that GH
Radiant structures are fortified.
damage to the tower.
They're the Catapult, right? So Catapult plus Exo, in theory, they could just burst through the entire tower here.
But
Radiant's bottom tower
mind control
is under attack.
possible. The tower down, so rotation definitely got.
Radiant's
Meanwhile, Lornov, he's able to chip away at the tower a little bit in the mid, but not really an ideal trade for him. LSA will connect as we comes in, but there's no opportunity to kill. Lornov, in fact, hasn't even leveled into Laguna yet. While that's happening, Bloodseeker will fall in the top lane, but in the river, the fight's still going on. We will be able to back away, though, as Gambit not able to punish Lee on his arrival in the middle.
Yeah, they wanna deal some damage tower as well. Clockwork rotated mid, then quite a strong combo where you get stun and the damage. Hard for Bloodseeker.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those situations where you maybe wish you had Ein up there, right? Because at least then you'd have a dispel, but
under attack.
it's not really a lane matchup that would have made sense from the get-go, hence why they went with the Clock plus Bloodseeker instead.
Hard to say, to be honest. I think the Clockwork feels kind of out of place in this lane, no matter where he goes. That's why it's a little bit of a curious... Just like the Oracle...
I wonder what's going to happen in terms of scaling for this Void if he doesn't have the items later on, right? Like, will they actually have the burst damage in these Chronos if Kasani doesn't get a good start to this game?
I definitely think Kasani needs quite good start. Has to get a fairly early beekeep, but not to be surprised. think that's almost the only way we can go, especially when you're up against a very quick defeat. The silence from deep, even the phantoms and break, very hard to deal with. You can potentially get Manta, but it's also quite useless.
That's true. There's just too many things to get rid of from Manta to be viable, right? Like, you're already listing them there when you got the silence to deal with on the ground as well as the DP one. You got the corrosive haze. Maybe BKB the simpler way. Does feel like there's going to be a lot of pressure on Lorinov as well to have enough behind him. And with the Chrono there, they'll have the damage to bring down GH. They are going to try and take this tower, but Miracle is here. Exo has been activated, and Nigma are going in straight onto Lorinov. Will force him away. Melees run over the high heels, but they're hot pursuit here. Bloodright to try and cover him, but they've already lost Lina. They're going to lose the Bloodseeker as well. And now they might actually end up losing more. On the side, Vampire is going to be chased down, found out. So sure, you get that kill in the GH, but for that big investment, it's going to cost you 10 times more. As not only will they get your lives, they'll get your tower.
Yeah, I think the idea behind the rotation is good. The idea of this void coming in with this Chrome, I think it's a good idea. It's just going on this Phoenix, I think, might have been the worst. Maybe would have. No, I actually think it's probably worse.
It's a level 5 Phoenix, right? That's the thing.
Exactly, you're committing Chrono and so many spells to this. Even the Bloodright was thrown out. I think if they just held on to some of the spells, they could have maybe taken the fight after. But when they commit the Chrono to this one kill, you know, get it with the Lina stun or a rupture, whatever. Just, I think then it's all of a sudden fine because you have the Chrono as a backup tool. Fight these Bloodright right now. You're incredibly strong. Bloodright. A lot of damage if you can hit it onto even 2 people. That's the spell follow up. The idea is good, but going on the Phoenix is not something you can afford to do with it.
Speaking of that Phoenix, set up around top as they are pushing in here. I'd be curious to see if they're going to try and defend this as Nigma, because you haven't got the Exo, but your opponents now have Chrono, and you are about to get 6 on GH.
Radiant are scared.
Let's TP in. Bloodright from Melees. Nice move across from GH to dodge out the damage. Hookshot in from Vampire is going to be good, though. Let's say we'll zone away Miracle. Miracle looking to re-engage, though. Cogs have been put down. Clockwork going to be turned around onto. He can't even get the kill on GH in time. He's just going to feed one over. The egg is going to be used to dodge out the Bloodright. Miracle able to do the same. Doesn't even need to move and worry about that rupture. And they have repelled the forces of Gambit. And the hunt. Nice silence. We'll stop leaning from stunning him. He needs to get out, though. Laguna's going to get low. He gets killed by the Dragon Slave. Now that was very confident coming out from Wii. But luckily, Miracle's doing a turnaround. Lorinov's going to be picked off. Oracle didn't have a chance to save with the false promise. Beautiful use of the smoke screen coming out from Miracle. Will force Iron to use his ultimate on himself. But now the Soulbind will stop the Clockwork from re-engaging. Instead, it's going to be Miracle going in. He's trying to hunt this kill down. Bloodright's going to be there. Miracle needs to dodge out, is able to escape. Inkswell means they do not want to pursue him either. Kasani is now going to arrive. Has got the Chrono again, jump in. There it is. Chrono out to Miracle. Low enough that he should be able to easily clean up this kill. In fact, Iron is sure to yoink it away from his own carry. And they'll hunt in looking for Kuro, but the TPs are coming in. Nigma say, whoa, wait. This is very early game. We're ready to fight again. You want to go?
I mean, you want to bring numbers.
They go. Inkswell, the mass stuns are going to be here. Void in a bit of trouble. Burns through, getting him low. It's going to get low enough, though. He should be able to move away the time. Well, Rupture's going to come out. Wii has used the Exo, but is stuck standing here now. Unable to move. They'll at least get the Clockwork kill. But not the big one they were looking for. They need more value out of this Exo. Bloodright's going to get him low. He's gone for the second time. Gambit. Wii is just the gift that keeps on giving right now.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of value. Lina stun got a lot of value out of this. Clockwork, even though Clockwork did die, he's providing a lot in these fights. And now, like, Lorno kind of bouncing back a little bit in the game. He had a not the best start to the. Yeah, like you said, we sort of gifting away a couple kills, committing a bit too much.
That's definitely. I mean, you know, the first 2 Chronos we've seen, like that second one was better. It got a high target, high priority kill, right? But if you use that Chrono and then Nigma don't rush to make a play in response, you feel like, maybe they're not getting as much out of these early ultimates as they need to on Gambit. But the way Nigma are trying to force the matter, which we know they love to just kind of relentlessly run their opponents when they think they're ready, it's starting to backfire a little.
Yeah, definitely. They did have a 4. Yeah, I mean, Lina's game is kind of stabilized. He even found the top spot in terms of worth. The Void, he's gonna queue up the Manta style. We'll see if he commits. There's now a blink on Slaughter though.
Under attack. Dire structures
I would say the
fortified.
difficult portion of this is gonna start now, and also once the blade gets completed by Miracle.
Dire's top
But
tower is under
Burner
attack.
Gold.
Jump in. Found him. Inkswell's going to stun him up. Silence on the Kasani. No way to escape that gank. So that difficult period you're talking about, is it going to last only a small amount of time, or is it starting to feel like it might end up being indefinite? Because Jesus, Vampire, half his health instantly gone. Case of Gambit's only real target without a chrono is going to be Kuro. If you can find it.
Invisibility.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the nice thing for Nigma, I would say. That it's so much easier for Kuro to play behind his fort.
Radiant's bottom
Gambit's
tower is
catch
under attack.
is not really as good. Have the Slaughter with the blink, got this invisible. So much easier to hunt for support.
Radiant are scanning.
Lauren off. Mind Control has an invis rune. They know where Kuro is. The Mind Control, he knows he can't do this anymore. The moment he sees Ein's there, he knows that there would be that Dispel save that would screw over the combo. Gambit, they're actually able to just reach past. The question is whether they can do anything, because this top area feels a little bit awkward to play around. I guess you're at least securing the farm zone for
Dire's middle
Kasani.
tower is under
What are you
attack.
losing elsewhere in the meantime?
Yeah, I mean, you get yourself 2 bounties. I think right now you can't really ask for too much. Sani's gonna go back into the Manta style. It's gonna be tough for him, I think. Items.
All those awkward moments where he just watched his teammates kill someone. He's like, oh, that's right, now I can return to my IM. But just because they can find those picks, it doesn't mean you're safe when you're in the fight still.
No, and Nigma are just gonna smoke up here.
No, it's nighttime. I think they would just shy of the vision. They'll jump on a different target instead. Straight forward onto Lauren. Trying to get Remules is going to come out. Inkswell's going to miss. Hookshot trying to save False Promise out. Rupture on the Miracle does jump away, loses half his HP pool. The Chrono goes down. They're trying to heal him up the Sunray. The damage to the Sunny might be enough for the Laguna. Yes, it is. And the Bash is coming out. GH can even get the egg off. He's going to dive back, hit the egg button, and ensure that Gambit cannot keep pursuing. Thinking about going in, has got the XO to play with. Yule's going to be there. Actually mistimed with the stun from the egg, but Melee's put down to half HP. Silence down to 4 heroes. Kasani still hunting forward on the Kuro, trying to bring him down. No soulbind for 10 seconds, but it's going to be too late. He's dead. GH also to fall. Now can they hunt and find more is the real question. Laurenov going to be turned around upon here. Has to use the yours and still the LSA. The jumping from Mind Control cleans him up. Now Melee's more or less being ignored. Looks like Wee's going to be forced to fight here. Kasani staying on top of him. Mind Control here to reinforce. Will force Kasani away. From the back line, looks like Ein has made his escape. So after all that, Gambit actually getting the better side of that fight, considering both sides use big ultimates and they get more gold. I say that, maybe I spoke too soon. They're back in. What are you doing here, Kasani? Just about gets aware of that. The hookshot reinitiation. Silence is going to immediately come out on to the clockwork, stuck inside the smoke screen. He will pay a price for that. Oh, I love this game. Just so much action.
With the way that fight starts, I think them going on the Lina and him being saved by Promise so to the tower. He's already committed, so he's already used his spells. He can't get out of this rupture without taking too much damage. The Chrome comes in, they get the Riki.
Oh, jump in, Soulbind. Forward on to Laurenov. Gonna burst him down. Used to buy a little bit of time, but that smoke screen's still down. He'll die. He's gone. Rupture was thrown out, which should allow them to retreat, but I mean, Nigma, they're not retreating. They're going back to the pit. Finish what they started.
Yeah, and that's the thing when that fight now, the second fight where you don't have the ball from ready yet. You can't say the Lina. He gets caught like this. All of a sudden, if you have the false promise there, I think it could be a similar story. Sure, you don't have your chrono, but still quite good for you. Now it's just gonna be dead Lina and dead Rose. Miracle and Vampire.
Got him. Vampire not able to get it. was a nice attempt. Will cost him his life, but in the grand scheme of things, it's worth the risk. If he'd got his hands on the Aegis or even the kill on the Roshan, Gambit would have been very happy.
Are scanning.
Yeah, I think that was like a very well-timed hook. Getting that Aegis.
Are scanning.
Luck. And Nigma with a very... trying to find the void, but...
Yeah, he didn't feel safe there. I like that he brought up that case around the false promise, right? Like, we already highlight Gambit. They drafted with these lanes. They kind of maybe want to play the game a little bit faster. But now that they're relying more and more on Oracle, this hurts him that he's so underleveled, right? Like, being a level 9 Oracle with the level 1 cooldown of false promise means you won't be able to save fight after fight.
Yeah, he also needs to try to get to the... so he can get the cast range, play a bit further out into the fights. Ideally, you would want to have a Glimmer Cape, try to force out. I think the real issue is going to come, I mean, get this Nullifier on Riki. 5 anymore.
I feel a little bit insensitive saying that he's underleveled, by the way, and then I look across at Vampire. Poor guy. We know who's been getting to eat the tomes in this one.
Yeah, and this is also that's the thing, right, about pick is the final pick. I feel like no real impact in the lane. Even now, feeling quite underwhelmed. I'm curious kind of what their idea behind it is. To me, it just looks a bit... it looks a little bit out of place, even in the ends. It's sort of odd when you look at the lanes.
Radiant's
found
middle tower is under attack.
Bloodseeker's done. No way he's going to get away from this. Nicely done by We to catch him mid-TP with that Yules. The hunting fought for more as well. They found Iron. He's just been fought again with that false promise. I mean, you have to question if he would have been better off just dying. He might still die. The miracle jump is going to be there. Long range with the final stab. He finishes off what he starts. And then, what? Oh my. Gambit. I mean, they are just bleeding kills left, right, and center. But that Oracle death, especially Pike, I mean, do you just accept death in that situation? Because now when you're up, there's no false promise again for 70 more seconds.
Yeah, I think maybe you just accept your death. It's so hard for you to take fights without it. The thing is, Elina now, she's forced to go into this 4-staff. I think I would much rather... I feel like you need to scale. If you're gonna go 4-staff, you're gonna forgo.
Top tower is under attack.
Potentially you could go into the Pike and try to scale that way with... Eventually you're gonna play into this Nullifier, which is hard for you to...
I mean, it means you're putting all your eggs in this Faceless Void basket, and it's going to be a tough one for Kasani to carry. He's got crap ton of gold, sure, but you have to get there first. Clockwork is not getting any more gold. He's given more over. Mind Control with the easy pickoff. Searching forward, looking for more. Will not jump further. Now, they have got the catapult. They've got a level 2 Exo, but I don't think they need it to try and pressure onto this tower. Step Riki, pressure on the heroes, jump in. Melee's down to half HP. Miracle's going to keep backstabbing into him. Mind Control chasing in. Miracle needs to get out now, though. Yules is going to be there. He's got the Aegis still, so not the biggest deal, as long as they don't stun him when he comes back up. They time the Blood Right correctly. Stun control, Mind Control, ensure face the void. He can't do anything. He can't get the Chrono out. He actually just has to retreat, which means they cannot punish Nigma for that. The Exo was used on the side. They will at least find GH. They do get something for their troubles. But Void unable to hit that Chrono.
I think that was very well played by Nigma. I mean, Miracle obviously going just there, just kind of uncomfortable for it. Put them in sort of an unfavorable fish position. I think they salvaged it quite well. They're just kind of jumping the Void, forcing him to use Method and stunning him so he can't Chrono. But also I would say Xani, I think he had a better position there to take and then try to get that. Top any hero pretty much, just the end.
Yeah, like your team's pretty deep, and Miracle, he saw how quickly he can die in the base, so it's unlikely he stays in there. So if you kind of cut the back line, the Miracle has no reinforcements, I guess is where you're coming from.
Under attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with his Blink Dagger, I mean, he's got the kind of mobility to jump on people. The problem is with no Exo, you can finally see Gambit. Even though they didn't capitalize, even though they didn't find a Chrono target, they're able to finally get out on the map and start to look for some sort of objective. Question is whether you can keep it alive. I mean, you don't really want to fall back to your safe area and just give Nigma 2/3 of the map again, but you might have to. They're smoking themselves.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You got your chrono available. Can take fights here.
You just, I mean, if you're Gambit, you just hold this high ground, right? Like, you let Nigma run into you.
Potentially play around this high ground. The thing is, you want to be farming as well.
But
I feel like they are falling a bit too far behind.
Ooh. Mind control almost had him there.
Good turn here, though.
Yep. He's stuck. He got blocked in by the Manta illusions. Mind control has nowhere to run. He needs some assistance. I don't know if he's going to get the hook shot. Comes out of GH. The chrono goes down onto the illusion. No! Kasani! What? Clockwork's gonna die. They might lose more. They didn't kill Mind Control. They never finished him off. He's gonna come back in. Meles has to run away. Yours is gonna be there to disrupt his escape. He is gonna be covered. False Promise gonna be forced out. Miracle going even deeper. They're gonna leash two together. Lorinov needs to move in sync with his Oracle. Diffuse gonna come out to him. Miracle looking for a target here. Gonna get hit with the blood right. Able to move away from the moment. The Manta, but it's not good enough. He's gonna fall. Mind Control with the reinitiation in on Alina. Can they do enough damage with the Exo? Is the real question here. They're getting Oracle low. Aina is gone. Kisani able to sidestep and move away in the meantime. Nigma probably should have lost a lot more than what they did for what happened there, but Kasani with the chrono onto what I believe was an illusion, and only an illusion, was the actual blessing for Nigma there, their own savior coming from the opponent's side.
Yeah, exactly. Mind Control just, he just goes way too deep. I think this was a very similar situation, how the last fight was right outside their base, and I would say Nigma. And Void had, I think, some really good chances to set up a chrono that he would sort of salvage the, or not just salvage, but make the fight very good for them. But Sani coming up a bit short there.
Yeah, they at least get this little side kill on Kuros. They get something. The hook shot was able to stop his TP out. But, I mean, the question on my mind, because I'm sure some people have this thought, like, is this Nigma being like, okay, you know, we know we are a tier 1, not a cocky way, but we know we're a tier 1 team. We know Gambit is less seasoned. They're just kind of maybe playing over aggressive and seeing if it works, not really caring about the other outcome, or is this kind of them at this point having this lead, feeling that they need to push this, they have to starve Gambit out, and it's worth the risks of these sometimes failing moves?
I think it's like the idea of trying to very aggressive and high tempo Dota, but I think sometimes they take it a little bit too far. Guy, he can get a little bit caught up in the moment sometimes. Take things far. I would think that Miracle is also one of those guys who can just, maybe in certain scenarios, he can get a little bit ahead of himself. Far, and, you know, evidently Mind Control, well, potentially, because, you know, like I said, they are, you know, large, at least Gambit squad.
Yeah, it must be infectious, because usually Mind Control, like, that's the one we're talking about, that he's that anchor, right? He's that recovery point, and that, well, that control for Nigma that keeps them in check. But even he seems to have just got a little bit of a mad cow disease.
Say that he
might actually be tempted to say such a thing.
But you wouldn't, though.
It's low-bearing fruits. You ever have, like, funny nicknames for things? Like, I've noticed you like calling Pango's old roly.
Yeah, I think that was, there might have been, I feel like it's probably CC that I got it from.
I can imagine it.
The roly-poly. I don't know, there are just some of these names that are, they're kind of too good to pass up on. Oh, and then, like, once it sticks, sometimes it's also like, initially you're just like, nah.
Always him. He's got the ag. Mind Control can do what he wants now. You don't want to touch it. Miracle is coming as well. Melis has hung around too long. Diffuse going to go out. Exor's going to be there. And that's going to trap in. The chrono though is going to be there. False Promise keeps Bloodseeker alive. Look at the shotgun. Miracle. People are low. They're trying to save the W, but it's not good enough. They've lost the Riki. But Mind Control, he can turn around on the face point. Now the flash control is going to come out. Is it good enough? He gets out just in time. Kisani able to escape. The egg on the high ground. Shoot the Turk Gambit. They don't have vision, so Lorinov has to run and hide. Vampire is far away from his team, however. There is nowhere for this Clockwork to hide. Oh my, and again, despite how it looks, despite how the start of that fight looks, Nigma once again building a big gold lead off the back of that fight, now up to 9,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, once again, Miracle just a little bit too eager on the let's go in button. Yeah, he goes down a bit too quickly there. He doesn't have a save, right? There's no Oracle on his... I'm not sure he's... Like, cool, why Oracle?
Okay, this man isn't a fish, he's a shark. The bash is coming out, I'll control him, he's going to go straight for the kill on the Hein. The Oracle is being brought low, the bash is working out for him, the stun control turn around and the void will force him away. Vampire has got the hook shot. They could look to re-engage Kuro. Hook shot's a whiff though. They miss it. He gets up onto the high ground, able to move away. Spider Leg saved the day. Now the reinitiation on the melee. His control looks good. He doesn't want to be in melee form here though. We'll be able to get away. Cogs will zone Nigma. They're just relentless. They're like, no, fight, 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 fight. More blood. Okay, like I've got a dentist appointment to get to. This needs to be over fast. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing in Miracle's cuts. Guys, honestly, back him up. Whenever he decides to take things a little bit too far, he's got Riki to rely on. He's covered very nicely. A little bit wonky deaths maybe earlier on. He's now got the completed Shiva. He's got the blink duel, so he's ready to also just jump to fights. We're gonna get the Aegis. Miracle with time control. It's gonna be incredibly difficult. You can chrono him, but you might not even have enough damage to kill him.
No, that's the concern, right? Like, he hasn't died once in this game. Your one chance was top, and I don't think if you... I'm not sure if you can get another chance. Vampire, look at the hook shot out, but Miracle sees all. Would have been a miracle if he could have got out. It'll be a miracle if Lorinov can get out, because Mind Control is hunting. He's got the crush, and he'll get it there in time. Lorinov is screwed. Nice blink size there. Mind Control just outplaying him. It's Miracle the double kill. It's Canva. I mean, they're having to make sessions everywhere. Anywhere they go, they have to bow and let Nigma have it. And the problem is, can you really do that if Nigma now turn their attention towards your base?
Oh, it's gonna be very difficult now. Who have the completed Skadi on the void, so bumping his HP up just a little bit, some more damage. The Skadi gonna help a bit to get Siphon.
Yeah, the Sunray as well. It's because that's the other thing, right? Like, some of these chronos feel awkward because if Phoenix is there on the side, just burn healing, you might miss out on the kills.
Yeah, but if you look at the net worth on Gambit though, they're 13k behind, but on top of that is Velina's net worth is, I want to say like 7,000, 8,000 of this net worth is invested into defensive items. Jewels, the Force Staff, Boots of Travel, Bottle, they're not all defensive, but they actually don't provide any sort of fighting.
The way they're being used in this game is defensive, it is what you get.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. The Bloodseeker, Atos, it doesn't actually add either any fighting capability. Their team fight is already a little bit lacking, so the Clockwork doesn't provide a lot in team fights. They basically don't have any team fight almost whatsoever except for this Blood Right Chrono in a spells combo. That's why they're in a very tough position.
They're gonna look to use that Chrono. Miracle has got an Aegis though, so you have to be very fast at the first life. And he might dodge this. It's a long TP. They're not looking in the right place though. It looks like Miracle will not bite the bullet here. And while that's happening, look at the top lane. We says, where the hell are they? We'll just EXO up straight away. It's like, get the hell back in your base, Gambit. Jeez, when I said when they come for your base, where you're going to run, I didn't mean it literally. So, glad to see they got back in time before that tier 3 would fall, because this is a level 3 EXO. We might feel tempted to go in, though, because he wants some value out of it. Good luck getting through Mind Control.
Nigma are not really in a hurry to force things here. Take the tier 3 here, go back with the end of the EXO.
Wait, initiation by Miracle on the side, nullifier out the Clockwork. Not enough damage to kill him off though. Cogs to push him away, Yules to control him up. LSA, ooh, timed beautifully. He tried for the Manta dodge, looking to bring down the first life. They have got a Chrono for the second, but the Master Manifest, he can't escape. The Chrono has to go down now. Both Promise to save him, Egg on the side though. Yules to control him up. Maybe they get through him in time. Miracle, he's alive. He gets out as a Miracle itself. As they turn around, they bring Lorinov down. Kisani is forced to retreat, leaving Clockwork behind. They're in the base, and now that they have actually found a footing, you can guarantee Nigma are very unlikely to leave.
I feel like in this scenario, this is where I think the DPP would have proven so much more useful. Void here.
This is going to be okay. I mean, we talked about it at length throughout the BKB. There's just so many things you have to dodge out and deal with. And then when you think about the support and cast on top, you start to kind of lean into the talk of it, right? There's this whole idea that you've got like these Atos, Lotus, all these defensive items. Usually if you want a POS one that's going to carry you, the thing we see a lot of teams do right now is that complementary build, right? Where it's things like Solar Crest, Lads, anything that unlocks the full potential of the hero. But it's all on Kasani, yet there's nothing to support him, if that makes sense. At least in terms of buffing him up directly.
No, I don't know. Gambit, I feel like there's quite a few kind of odd things here. The Flock of Peak, one of them, the Bloodseeker, the Atos is not really helping them all that much in these fights.
But look, he stopped Wii from running away for 2 seconds. I don't think Wii wants to run away.
Also just, he's just committing to status resistance at this point. He's got the Titan Slayer, he's got the S and Y, he's got the, you know, the Ags.
Oh, I mean,
it's like, stun me please. My friend, stun.
I just want to paint a clown face on him right now. You can just imagine him saying, hit me. He wants you to hit him, because you do absolutely no damage. I just feel bad for Vampire in that situation. Imagine being the final pick of the game. Imagine having all these high hopes, and then imagine having 3 kills, 15 deaths, and 5 assists to your name at this point in the game. He makes up half of Nigma's kills.
Has fallen.
At least he's part of half of something. I'm just trying to look for this.
I mean, he's part of 2/3 of his team. You're right.
He's got a high kill participation, you know. You can interpret that the way you want to.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I felt bad after highlighting the 15 deaths. Remember the start of this, when we were talking about how Vampire, well, no, you know, this guy really delivers from the possible role. Never got a chance in this game.
I think he's had a lot of good performance. The recent series where I've seen Gambit, maybe, you know, like now they're up against some tougher team.
Do you think it was like comfort pick in their mind, maybe? They were like, oh, this is what we're comfortable playing.
It could be, definitely. But I feel like that can be a dubious thing to do. Invisibility. Consider, you know, how good the hero, how good a player is with a.
Are they gonna? They're gonna try for this. I mean, what am I talking about? Mind Control will try for anything he sees. Like, how do you kill him? Try. I dare you. There is literally no way. No possible way that splashing McDuff is gonna fall. Soulbind comes up, hook shot in, Chrono's gonna be there. Mind Control, can they get through him? Maybe they're bringing him low enough. Shotgun to get him down to the Laguna, they get him! Dead for 75! They'll find the kill behind, the buybacks will come out both sides as they're trying to get involved quickly here. We stand his ground, will force Kasani away, but Lena's gonna fall. Laurenov dead on the back line, egg down, trying to get through in time. They will be able to scramble it. But can you turn around now? The stun control is gonna come in. Mind Control has re-arrived into the fight, looking for vengeance on a Kasani. They'll find it. They bring him down. Miller is gonna be forced away. The Chi-Chi is gonna come out. That was Gambit's last Gambit, and they knew it.
They got through Splashy Mc... what? Splashy Mc...
Splashy McDuff.
Yeah, they